Dearest Holocaust survivor Avraham Lord, it's a great honour to be in your presence. Deputy Director General, Excellencies, colleagues, distinguished guests and dear friends, thank you so much for this important event today, and actually all of you here, because you, by having taken the time out of busy days to stop, to join us, to be quiet, to take time to reflect and to remember is the best way to do honour of those we remember today. So thank you sincerely. With the start of 2024 revealing a world at its most contested and fragile in living memory, I think it's more important than ever to come together, to remember history and to redouble our collective efforts and duty of responsibility to learn. On this commemorative day, we honour the more than 6 million Jews and other so-called undesirables murdered on a horrific industrial scale by the Nazis. And we reflect ever more intently on the testimonies of those who managed to survive and bear terrible witness to humanity's darkest hours. I'm therefore very grateful to David and the Israeli Mission and the United Nations Information Service for screening the last survivors documentary this afternoon and again tonight. This film with a British director, and which I hope you can take the time to see, is about the last Holocaust survivors living in Britain who were children during those dreadful years. The film follows them as they talk about how the trauma suffered in their early years shaped their later lives. Some of them arrived in Britain via the Kindertransport between 1938 and 39. Just last month, we held a commemorative event at the British residence to mark the 85th anniversary of this incredible, inspiring rescue operation, which saved thousands of children from Nazi persecution. This, for me, is a very personal and precious act of sanctuary, as my German Jewish grandmother was one of those who escaped through Vienna with her younger sister, the only 2 of 13 children to survive. Without the Kindertransport, with that great act of love and sanctuary, I would not be standing here today to bear witness. Last March, we were incredibly proud to honour the efforts of British Embassy officials and Anglican clergymen who, in spite of danger to their own lives and in defiance of official instructions from London, provided as many travel documents and baptismal certificates as possible so that Jews desperate to cross Austria's borders to safety following the Anschluss of 1938 could do so. Again, a remarkable story and snapshot of history, demonstrating that even at the worst of times, we personally have an obligation to do what is morally courageous and right. We personally have to dig deep and find the best of human spirit and bravery, and a deep humanity towards one another. A deep humanity that was tragically all too clearly missing at Schloss Hartheim, Austria's centre for the Nazis' T4 extermination programme, where many physically disabled and mentally impaired people, many of them children, went to their deaths in a gas chamber there following the most horrific medical experimentation. I'm equally proud that just this Saturday, a British exhibition opened there to bear witness to their terrible, dreadful stories. The deep lasting trauma which not just those survivors but the generations after endured means that the phrase "never again" must not be an empty one, but instead a guiding principle for everything we do, not least here in the Vienna home of the UN, founded on the principles of peace, human dignity and rights for all. As the UK prepares to take over the presidency of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance in March, our aim will be very simple. It will be to restore the true spirit and to highlight the very present relevance of never again. It's heartbreaking that as the last Holocaust survivors are reaching the final stages of their lives, they are once again forced to fear for the lives of relatives and friends as anti-Semitism, bigotry and hatred follows the Hamas attacks of the 7th of October. So today, as in every day that we meet at the UN as diplomats, united in the cause of peaceful endeavour, we must continue to condemn hatred in all of its forms, to support all of those working for tolerance, healing, inclusivity and reconciliation. Only in this way do we do proper and personal honour to those who perished in the atrocity and darkness of genocide back then, and show that the testimony of those such as Abraham, who survived the terror with indomitable human spirit, did not do so in vain. Thank you so much once again for being with us here today.